this society has put in our minds that failing is bad, like you shouldn't fail. But if you don't fail, you can learn. If you don't learn, you don't improve, and you don't improve, why would you do it again? So I realized that failing was a big part of the process, and I needed to fail faster. I needed to fail bigger to learn, improve, and then do it again.
Guys, we're here with Miguel Wilches, owner and founder of Sunbright Solar here in Orlando. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
So you've been killing it in the solar game for about 5 years now. You said you got into it a little bit ago. Now that you've been in solar, you founded a company, you scaled to grow your company, you said now 60 reps.
Yeah.
What's been the biggest obstacle that you faced in solar?
In solar, well, I always say it's not only the solar industry. Like, I just came back from a conference, right? And you know who Steve Spray is? He's one of the sales managers of Grant Cardone.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy was asking us, like, why do you think that salespeople don't produce? Like, let's say you have a team, right, of solar reps. Why do you think that solar reps are not producing?
Not motivated, they don't want to work.
Exactly. So most of the people say that. So it's nothing related to actually kilowatt hours or kilowatts or product knowledge. Like, yeah, all that is important, but the number one challenge is generally creating a high performance sales environment, and that starts with leadership. So leadership, obviously developing people is a big challenge, but it starts with developing yourself. So I would say the number one thing when I started my company was just leading myself consistently. And then by leading myself, I then can lead other people, and when I lead other people and I grow people in the company is growing by itself. So that was one of the main challenges for sure.
You're pretty young. You're 23 years old and you
Yeah.
managed to grow such a big company. What would you say to when you started out 5 years ago when you were 18?
Yeah.
What would you say to your 18-year-old self that you know now that may have helped the old Miguel?
Is speed of implementation. I think I got a lot of information, and I used to think that information was powerful, but that's BS, man. Information is nothing without implementation. So I will fail faster. I went to a conference and I saw John Maxwell speak, and he said that there's a cycle for success, and success is 5 stages. One is you try something new. So I was trying solar, right? The next step in success is failing. So you try something new, you fail, you learn, you improve, and you do it again. Try something new, you fail, you learn, you improve, and you do it again. So this step, like, this society has put in our minds that failing is bad, like you shouldn't fail. But if you don't fail, you can learn. If you don't learn, you don't improve, and you don't improve, why would you do it again? So I realized that failing was a big part of the process, and I needed to fail faster. I needed to fail bigger to learn, improve, and then do it again. So that's one advice that I would give myself, and the other one was just faith, trusting myself and knowing that everything was going to be okay. Yeah.
That's key. Going back to your younger self, you actually were born in Colombia?
Colombia, yeah. I came to the United States when I was 17. I didn't speak any English at the time, just very basic.
You didn't speak any English?
Basic. Like, you know what's funny? So I used to go to school in Colombia, and I learned a little bit of English, and I thought I spoke English until I came to the United States, and I realized that wasn't English. And then I lived in Arkansas, so I wasn't here, which there's a lot of Hispanic people here. I lived in Arkansas, there wasn't a lot of Hispanic people, and I did it on purpose. I wanted to force myself to go into an area where I was going to put myself in an uncomfortable situation, and I was going to be forced to learn. Like, that was going to be my only option. So yeah, I lived in Arkansas for a little bit, and then I came to Orlando, and I've been here since then.
Would you change anything that has led you to all the learning experience that you know now?
Not really, man. I think that I wouldn't change anything. It's every time that I fail, as I tell you, I learn and I improve. So all the failures and all the challenges that I've had through my life have led me to where I am today. So I wouldn't change anything. Obviously, there's things that if I could go back, I will have done differently based on what I know right now. But other than that, yeah, I'm so grateful for everything that's happened in my life, and now solar changed my life, man, and now it's my opportunity to change other people's lives and show them what the opportunity is about.
In our industry, it's hard to find savages that are willing to go knock doors in like the 100-degree weather that we have here in Florida. Yourself, you achieving so much success at a young age, how are you able to stay so driven in this industry? Like taking your team to knock doors, going to conferences, doing podcasts. Like, how are you able to stay so driven?
Purpose. I think that's the only answer. When I created Sunbright, we wanted to create a purpose-driven company, not a profit-driven company. And I think that there's a book that's called The Motive, and it talks about the motive behind leadership. There's a lot of people that do it for the power. There's a lot of people that do it for the decision making, just for being responsible for other people. But when you really find the real motive of why you're doing everything that you're doing, I really believe that you become unstoppable. Like, there's not an amount of money that you can give me that will make me not wake up tomorrow and show up for my team. Like, it's not for the money anymore. It's for the purpose. That we have a huge purpose, a huge vision. One of the core values of our company is giving, and I believe that the key of living is giving. And I think that I believe in God, and God gave me an opportunity that now is my responsibility to give to other people. So I generally do it for a purpose, man. I think that there is so much potential, there is so much opportunity that there is in this industry, and that God has given me, that it would be a disservice for me to not work hard for it. I wouldn't be grateful if I'm not working hard for it.
Giving, what kind of, because I know you're part of Knoxstar University, with shout out to Taylor McCarthy.
And Taylor's the best, man. Yeah,
the best.
Yeah.
And I know they do a lot of trips to go give back.
Yeah.
And one of your biggest core values is giving. What kind of giving have you guys done at Sunbright?
So we are part of good question, by the way. That we're part of a company. It's a nonprofit organization that's called Give Power Foundation. So for every installation that we do, we donate a portion to Give Power. Last year, we were able to feed and give water to over 1,000 families. They build solar farms that produce clean water in places that there's literally no electricity, no water, for multiple, like thousands and thousands and thousands of families every single day. So that's one of them. And the other one is that I don't only believe that giving is a matter of giving money, because you can recreate money, but you can't recreate time. So I wanted to do something where I invest in my time, energy, and money in something. So last year, with about 15 members of our team, we went to Colombia to give back to Colombia. So we went to a place that's called La Guajira in Colombia. Dude, it's insane. Like, people have no water, they have no electricity, they have no phones, they sleep in hammocks every single day. Like another world, literally another world. And I was born in Colombia, but I lived in the capital city of Colombia, so I didn't have the chance to see that part of the country, but I know it existed, and I always had a purpose to go back and give back to my people. So we took 15 people for about 6 days. We slept in hammocks, bro, with indigenous people. Like, yes, like really, like in hammocks for 2 days with indigenous people. Didn't have service, and donated a ton of food and toys for kids. And not only that, man, it's not only what we gave them, but it's a voice of like coming from the other side of the world and telling these people like, hey, you have people on the other side that actually care about you. Like, we care about you guys. We're not gonna let you be hungry every single day. Like, go to bed with your empty stomach. Like, that's not gonna happen in my watch, So every time that I remember like why I need to keep going, bro, I have pictures and everything. It's like, if I don't keep going, there's a lot of people depending on me that wouldn't eat tomorrow if it wasn't for what we're doing. So it goes just deeper and longer than just money. It's a really big purpose that we have of impacting people's lives and just helping.
Wow, that's amazing, man. You travel a lot. recently you were at a pretty big solar conference.
Yeah.
Traveling so much, running a company, and doing all these things, giving back to communities.
Yeah.
How are you able to manage all of this? Like, take us through the day of Miguel Wilches.
So every day is different, man. Every day is different. When it comes to travel, I travel a lot, but I don't travel a lot for vacations or pleasure. I sincerely enjoy what I do, so that's important, right? Like you were asking me what's my hobby, and my hobby, I love to work, bro. Like I show up to work and it's like a game for me. So that's one of my hobbies, but when I travel for usually business and conferences. And this is big for business owners, and there's a lot of business owners that work a lot in their business, not on their business. So one of the things as well is the speed of the leader. The speed of the team is the speed of the leader, right? You guys have heard that multiple times. But then the number one law of leadership is the law of the lead, right? So you have a lead on your company, and the lead is your level of leadership. So your company will never go higher than your level of leadership. What that means is if you want to grow your company, what do?
You have to scale yourself.
You have to grow yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all a company is a group of people. When you grow the people, you grow the company. And to grow the people, you have to grow yourself. So personal development has always been my secret weapon, my number one priority. And again, it's not only knowledge, it's about coming and actually implementing what we learned. And you also have to have a balance a little bit on how much you go and learn, because there's an overload of information. So about a year ago, I had too many trips, too many masterminds, too many people give me advice, and I will get confused. So now it's a matter of eliminating and actually focusing on what I believe resonates with me and works, and just double down on that. So that's one, just the importance of personal development. And when it comes to your question on how I manage my time, it's a process. You know, I have habits that help me manage my time and stay consistent. I plan my days before they start. So the night before, I know hour by hour what's going to happen the next day. I believe in the Pareto principle. So the top 20% of your priorities are going to get you 80% of your results. And there's one book that's called The One Thing. I tell my team every single time, there's the one thing that you can do that's going to move the needle and get you closer to your dreams. So when I was first starting in solar, that one thing was being in front of more customers. So you eliminate every single thing, like absolutely everything, but you focus 80% of your time in the top 20% of your priority, that one thing, you're gonna get results, you know? So being productive is different than being busy, and getting busy is extremely easy, but then it's a matter of respecting your time and learning how to say no. Like there's a lot of times that I'm like, no, I can't do it. Like I need to respect my time. So yeah, that's how I do it. And I'm not a master on this. I'm still learning every single day, you know, so it's a learning process.
Are you into, I know you consume a lot of content going to all these masterminds, but with all the wisdom that you've gained so early in your career and in your life, what kind of books have propelled you or kind of changed the way that you think?
Yeah, it depends on what stage of the business you're asking me, but at least in my life in general, in the beginning, Rich Dad Poor Dad inspired me to be a business owner, from Robert Kiyosaki. Think and Grow Rich changed my life completely 2 times. I read that book 2 times, and twice changed my life. For business, there's a book that's called Traction for business management. It helps a lot. There's another one that's called The Road Less Stupid. The Road Less Stupid. Really good book. Talks about culture and thinking time. It's really important to ask as a business owner. If you ask yourself the right questions, you're gonna find the right answers. What else? Atomic Habits was a big one for consistency with my habits. There's a lot of them, right? I try to read what I don't try, I do. I read 2 books a month, and I listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks. And I don't think it's a matter of the quantity of books that I read, but I implement, you know, like I take the time how can I really implement this in my life and my business? And it helps a lot of my people. And I use the books that I read to teach my people. So I do classes in my books because when you teach, you learn even more. So it's beneficial for them and it's beneficial for me. It's a win-win situation.
With managing and leading such a big team so young, how are you able to sustain and keep that culture and motivate and elevate your company? Like, you do these classes, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
What other kind of activities do you do with your team to keep the nucleus together?
Yeah, so it's a process in the making still. I don't have things figured out. It's a question that I ask myself continuously every day. I think having people, at least a leadership team, aligned in the same page is very, very important. There is one book that helped me understand that it's called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. By Patrick Lencioni, and he says that the number one dysfunction is usually trust. So it's really important to have a leadership team that has trust, that has high levels of commitment, high levels of accountability, that they consistently get into conflict, a healthy conflict, and that everyone is aligned to the vision and the path. So as leader, it's really important that you help your people understand where you're going. Why are you going that way? What's the vision of the company and how their vision can fit within the vision of the company? If their vision is beyond the vision of the company, they don't have a reason to be in your company. So it's very important as business owner to think big and to consistently communicate that vision with your people. And then other than that is what I told you, like there is not a kilowatt hour problem, there is not a panel problem, there is no leader fees. That goes. And it happens and it's challenging sometimes, but the real reason, man, like we have people and we have to teach our people how to lead. We have to teach our people how to create consistent habits, how to goal set, right? Like there's a lot of people that don't know how to plan their year, their goals, just getting to know them a little bit deeper, not only how much money they want to make, but why they want to make that money. And then you as a leader committing to them. Let's say you want to make this amount of money, I ask you why, and you tell me that you want to retire your mom, and then we create an action plan together, and you go knock, but you knock less doors than what you say you're going to knock, then it's my responsibility as a leader to hold you accountable. I'm going to call you, hey Luis, dude, you told me you're going to knock 50 doors, you knocked 20. Did your goal change? You're not going to retire your mom anymore? Or what can I do as a leader to help you retire your mom? Because dude, I'm committed. I'm 100% committed to your own success, but I can't be more committed than what you are with your own dreams and goals. So let's figure this out. How can I help you get to the $50 consistently so we can retire your mom together? And the real motivation and loyalty with your team comes when they truly know that they have a leader that cares about them, that don't see them as a number, but really cares about their dreams, their family, their true why. Not only money and numbers or fun. That all comes and goes. Any company can give you that, but people and leaders that actually care about your deep desires and hold you accountable and commit to your own dreams, I think has been a huge help in your company to create consistency and unity.
Wow. How often do you have to maybe have these conversations with your team? Do you set a day of the month that you have these one-on-ones with all your teammates?
So there's a rule in leadership that you shouldn't be directly managing more than 6 people at a time. So what I did is I started developing people, right? I have 6 direct reports that I do weekly one-on-ones, and then they do weekly one-on-ones with their direct reports. And in the weekly one-on-ones that I do with them, we bring up conversations that they have with their teams. And then if they're not my direct report, I always interact with them in the meeting, hey brother, how are you doing? I take the time to know how they're doing, how their family's doing, how their kids are doing, how their parents are doing, how the couple is doing. And they really feel that I care about them, but I can't manage 60 people at the same time. I have an amazing team. If it wasn't for my team, we wouldn't be here. And the consistency with weekly one-on-ones and knowing hey, this is your goal, these are your results, this is the gap between one and the other. How can we make sure that we fix this gap? right? And let's realign again on what you want and why do you want it, and then what's your new commitment for the new week to actually make it happen. So weekly one-on-ones were huge.
Wow,
Yeah,
you're dropping a lot of game, man.
thank you, man.
For someone at home, a kid that's maybe in high school and college, not really knowing what to do or how to change their life, how to change their situation, solar's changed the both of our lives.
Yeah.
What would you tell that kid that's kind of lost?
Solar. No, I'm kidding.
That's what I was going to
That's a good question. So I believe that all journeys are different, right? You can be successful in literally any industry. The journeys are different, but the concepts are always the same. So what I will tell you is be obsessed, absolutely obsessed with personal development. Personal development. There's a quote by Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was a mentor of Tony Robbins. So Jim Rohn says that your level of success will never exceed your level of personal development. And the reason why is because success is not something that you chase, but it's something that you attract with the person that you become. So I'm going to say it again, your level of success will never exceed your level of personal development, because success is not something that you chase, it's something that you attract with the person that you become. So if you want to become successful, you need to become a person of value. You need to become a person of value. How do you become a person of value? By developing yourself. So anything that just find mentors, fail fast, read a lot of books, get into personal development, like deep into personal development, take advice from people that have the results that you want to have, and be humble in the process and consistent. And there's a lot of people that want freedom in their life, right? So as a business owner, one of the challenges is that nobody tells me what to do. I have to go and create, right? So I have a lot of freedom. But what you realize when you're a business owner and you manage your own time is that freedom is on the other side of discipline. If you don't have discipline, freedom is BS. Like, if you don't have discipline, you're not gonna have money most likely. And if you don't have money, it's not freedom. So yeah, that's what I would tell somebody that's just starting out.
When you first started out, what was your avenue? I know you were in school for a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you stumble across solar?
Personal development. You know, the first time that I heard about solar was in a Tony Robbins conference. So I went to this conference. I was doing insurance at the time, and the guy in front of me owned a solar company. And 5 years ago, he was the first guy that had ever told me about solar.
Wow.
And he tried to recruit me. I said no multiple times. I was doing real estate and I was doing insurance, and I think I was better than knocking doors. I used to see knocking doors as a job that was below me, and I was just ignorant, man. I didn't understand the opportunity, and once I understood the opportunity, I was like, knocking doors, like, let's do it, man. Like, whatever it takes, you know. And that's how I did it, you know. So that's why I'm telling you, like, everything is related to personal development. You put yourself in the room with people that have opportunities, and you're gonna find opportunities. You put yourself in the room with people that have what you want out of life, you're gonna take something out of that people. There's a lot of sayings that go that you become the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And it's true, you know, like, it's just true, man. If you surround yourself with millionaires and people that are growing in life and getting better every single day, you're gonna get better. It's association, you know. It's an universal law. So yeah.
Gotcha. It's a lot of sauce, guys. If you were to go back in time, and for example, kind of like me, I started at Peak Energy, trying to figure out exactly how to scale this company.
Yeah, proud of you, by the way, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and thank you for taking the time to do this for me.
100%.
I know a lot of people are going to get a ton of value. I hope you guys have a notepad, because I do. Going back where you were just starting to recruit, starting to gain your first founding members,
Yeah.
is there anything that you would have acquired or done differently or implemented that you know now, maybe for something like me?
I will have set the core values of the company sooner, and I will have made every single decision in the company based on those core values. Like, we hire people and we fire people based on the core values. I will have developed the vision a little bit sooner as well. And but I'm super grateful, man. I had amazing people starting with me, this company, that are still here with me. And we have built together. And Taylor McCarthy says all the time that you do business with people that you want to do life with. And we are a family. We're not only working together, we're growing together and making money together and helping people together and just creating wealth together. And it truly feels like a group of friends and a family that sincerely want to help each other. So yeah, you gotta make it fun. And when it comes to your companies, having a really very, very specific core values, how people can exemplify those core values. And then you're gonna attract who you are. You're not gonna attract what you say. You're gonna attract who you are. So if you want to attract higher level people, you have to become a higher level leader and person. Because there's a lot of times that a B type leader is not gonna lead an A type person. You know, if an A player comes to your organization and you're a B player, you're not gonna lead an A player most likely. So you have to become that A player. A players recruit A players. So that's another advice, man. There's a lot of people that come to your company and they disrupt the culture and they produce a lot of deals, but they kill the culture. And that's a no-no, you know, like culture goes first. So just be really committed to the process and to your vision and your core values. And you're gonna start attracting people that believe in that mission.
I know some of the struggling problems that I faced is maybe many people aren't aligned with the vision. For people that look into Sunbright, they join, but they don't fit into those core values, do they eventually like weed themselves out? Do you just let them go? How do you handle that?
Yeah, that's challenging, man. Again, something that I'm still learning and I'm improving. Sometimes both of them happen, you know, like sometimes they let themselves go and they realize, I always say there's only two reasons why people leave. First of all, people leave leaders, people don't leave companies. But second, people leave your company because they're either not making money or the pressure is too high. And I'd rather people leave because we're a high performance sales organization and not because they're failing, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes they leave because they realize like this is high level of accountability. Sometimes they leave because they don't align, and sometimes I have to let them go because I don't see a good fit in the company, you know? So you're gonna have a pulse and a sense of your people and your business once you interact with them. But you have to pay attention to the small details. Like people, I don't tolerate people being late. I hate when people don't show up to meetings. I hate when people don't communicate. And we entail the core values of our company around those, right? Like commitment is one of the core values of our company. Communication is one of the core values of our company. And we show people how they can exemplify those core values. So yeah, it goes back to the core, you know. That's why they're called core values. Like those values are the core of your company. So you're letting people stay in the company that are not exemplifying the core values. That means that you're not exemplifying the core values. And if you're not doing it, then there is no company. Like if you as a leader are failing your own core values, then there is no company. There is no core in that company. You know, so that's what I would say.
How were you able to find these core values? Is there like a set number that you have?
I had 6 core values. And it goes along with your vision, man. What's important to you, where do you see yourself in the future? Sunbright's core values are Miguel's core values, you know, and they align with what I see in the future, with the vision and the mission that I have with the company. So there's a lot of meditation and a lot of thought that you have to put in the process of like, what are the top 3, 4, 5, 6 things, values that I want these people living by, that I want to live by. And you put it together and you help people exemplify those core values and communicate it very, very consistently.
That was a lot of free game for you guys and for myself. Where can people find you around and find you on social media? Where can they find Sunbright?
Yeah, social media, man. That's usually the best way. So my IG is Miguel Angel WT. So you can find me there, and then Sunray.solar. So you can find us on social media, man. Yeah, I'm an open book, man. I have an abundance mindset, so I'm happy to help. As I tell you, like, giving is one of my main core values, and it's not only about money, but time and energy as well. And I'm obsessed with helping people. So yeah, I'm excited to be here, and as I tell you, I'm really proud of you and what you're doing.
Thank you, bro.
And yeah, anything I can help with, guys, I'm here for you.
Guys, the way I connected with Miguel, I was consistently studying his content, consistently watching his videos. I took a vulnerable moment, reached out to him, have been bugging him about getting him on the podcast for weeks on end. So something that I would say to you guys is take the bet on yourself and reach out to the people that you want to learn from, because they are willing to help you. So
100%.
thank you for your time.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Anytime.